Hello, P Mars here. I forgot to check my mic level. Damn. So I used to think that people who understood that elements within our government and military were responsible for 9/11 and not terrorists in a cave. I used to think people like that were more like onto it, smarter, knowledgeable, woke. But I don't think that anymore. I think that the truthers, the conspiracy theorists, they are just as much victims of propaganda and brainwashing as the mainstream people who watch sports. There's not really a difference. Neither of them use their ability to think whatsoever. And a prime example of this is this auto hoaxer phenomena where people just they understand that the mainstream media is propaganda, and from that simple understanding they just throw the baby out with the bathwater, and anything the mainstream media says isn't true. Well, it doesn't really work like that, and this shows that they don't really think too much, and they don't read or research what propaganda is. So yeah, I've been saying that for a long time to them, like they're throwing the baby out with the bathwater, and propaganda doesn't really work like that. Actually, old school propaganda is sort of like the auto hoaxing thing. They would have been correct, 200 years ago. The propagandists would just blatantly lie to the people. But modern propaganda is different. Modern propaganda gives you true facts, but then interprets them. The way that it interprets the facts is the lie. So, if you try and challenge them and say they're lying, well, they can always go, no, look, these facts are true. Here's the quote. This is, I believe, from the book Propaganda, The Formation of Men's Attitudes by Jacques Ellul. Propaganda is necessarily false when it interprets and colors facts and imputes meaning on them. It is true when it serves up the plain fact, but does so only for the sake of establishing a pretense and only as an example of the interpretation that it supports with that fact. It's kind of like I guess, if there's still flat earth people watching me, this is like the flat earth versus sphere earth debate. They both will use similar plain facts, but they have different interpretations of the facts. And that's what the modern propagandist is. So to just dismiss the virus as being fake because the media's propaganda is not really thinking. It's not using your brain. So a good example of this, and I think this is kind of a bullshit. I think this story is hilarious. I guess it's sort of sad because someone died. Arizona man dies after attempting to take Trump coronavirus cure. So I've been following the coronavirus stuff with a lot of interest. I'm usually not that interested in the media, but this is pretty interesting to me because we're going through like a big societal change with the fear created by the pandemic. So Trump has been going on doing these press conferences daily, and he mentioned that I think there was like a French doctor who said he had some positive results of using this drug called chloroquine, which treats malaria, I believe. And Trump kind of acted like it was the anecdotal evidence was legit and that this drug would work, or he's very confident this drug would work. And he mentioned that the drug was FDA approved. So then the media has been really going after Trump, trying to call him a liar, saying that this drug was FDA approved. because there's a little technicality here. This is the thing where we're like interpreting. So the fact is Trump did say the drug was FDA approved. Now the media will take that fact and spin it and say that Trump said the drug was approved for coronavirus, which he never said. Trump simply made the point that the FDA had already approved the drug for use in treating people with malaria. So if it was approved the FDA approved it for malaria, that meant, like in Trump's logic, it was safe for human consumption, which is true. So dumb people watching this, allegedly, because here's the thing about this story: this Arizona couple that did this, they are not being named, and I find that very interesting. So this is an example where it could be a lie. Like they could have created this. They could have just had someone report this, that an actor report this, because they don't even say who the person is. So we have no idea if this is true or not. We have no way to like verify this. So she thought Trump said the drug was safe and that it fought coronavirus, and she was they're in the demographic where coronavirus is more dangerous towards older people. So her and her husband apparently had some chloroquine, which was it's also put or used to clean fish tanks, because I guess she took this fish, they ingested fish tank cleaner, which is different from the drug chloroquine, which is used in malaria. So it's not even the same thing, and the media is trying to take this and use these facts and spin it to make it seem like you can't trust Trump, or like Trump is responsible for these people's deaths for giving out false information. They really want to push this narrative that it's dangerous to give out bad information because people could die, because they want to be the only ones giving out the bad information. They want to control the information. So they're creating this like problem with flat earth and anti-vaxxers and climate change deniers, where we can't have these people. They're dangerous, like Trump. Trump is kind of the poster boy of challenging the scientific establishment, as he is resistant to this climate change bullshit. So we have that going on. And then the other thing I noticed was they're really pushing this narrative that Trump is defying what the medical experts want him to do and going to open up the end the shutdown and try to restart the economy. So Trump is between a rock and a hard place with this situation. On the one hand, you got the pandemic killing people and causing damage. On the other hand, shutting down the country, destroying the economy, also causes damage. And he has to balance like how to fight the pandemic without destroying the country. And he's pretty much in a no-win situation. But the thing is, like the goal. See, this goes back to capitalists created communism to be a dialectic, the Hegelian dialectic. You control people. You create a thesis like capitalism. Then you create the antithesis to your thesis, which would be communism in this case, right? So then the capitalism and communism, they debate and fight each other, and through that you form a synthesis where the ideas merge, and now economies use elements of capitalism and communism, and it's called globalism. So that's how we're controlled. And so the people behind capitalism and communism, they have the same agenda. It's the same people behind these things, and their agenda is to create a socialist society where we are controlled by experts. And that's why you're seeing this narrative in the media where like Trump is defying expert advice and going to open up the country ahead of the time the medical advisors advise them to, and they think the medical people want the country shut down for longer. And I'm predicting like there's going to be things are going to get shitty, and the media is going to push this idea that Trump should have listened to the experts, and they're guiding us into this society where we let experts control our lives and make decisions for us. So that's where we're headed, and that's the narrative, big narrative that's emerged through all this coronavirus crap. And yeah, that's basically all I had to say for today. Peace.
Qu'est-ce que